A beautiful man. Good day, good day, good day. Good day, guys. Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Good morning to the kings and queens of the land. Good morning, or is it good afternoon? Today is the 26th of May. It's actually afternoon. I'm still saying good morning. It's 1:15. It's now afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, all the ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all those who follow me on this channel. Good afternoon. Today is the 26th of May 2024. We're literally only, we're just literally only 3 days, exactly 2 days, if we have to be precise. Exactly 3 days, or we can say 2 days, just before the election. Just before the watershed elections in South Africa. Click the like button, whoever is joining us. Click the like button there. Today we're talking about the judgments have gone against the black people in the court of law. The SABC, President Zuma was speaking yesterday, saying he had an interview with SABC, which has been banned. It's not allowed to be listened to by South Africans. South Africans are not allowed to listen to that interview they had with President Zuma. Similarly, President Zuma also said he had an interview. Tell us who is with us, who is watching, and where are you watching us from. Click the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. President Zuma said it's not only the SABC which has banned him from speaking, also ENCA went to Nkandla to have an interview with President Zuma, which they refused to put to air, because President Zuma must never be heard. There must be no people who are listening to President Zuma. There must be no people listening to President Zuma does not deserve to be listened to according uh, to the SABC. Black people have remained calm so far. Black people have remained calm. Cynthia Malopi is joining us. Afternoon, my brother. Thank you, Cynthia. I love you there. Fana Mlauli says Mkonto. I hope you are well, my brother. We are ready for the elections. Thank you very much, Fana. Like um, I feel much better actually. I'm actually recovered. It's just that I think there were a little bit of injuries inside the ear. So for the injuries to heal, it takes a little bit of time. But I think I'm okay. And thank you for caring there, Mr. Fana. Click the like button as well and subscribe. Click the like button and subscribe. Yes, today we're talking about we're talking about the election. We're talking about President Zuma. Does the IEC have the ability to host free and fair election in South Africa? Uh, it's a question which I wish to answer, and a question that I actually have been answering. If people have been following my videos uh, since I started talking about these issues, I have been trying to answer that question if the IEC has the ability to host free and fair election. The SABC has banned President Zuma. President Zuma has announced yesterday that he had an interview with SABC, which they said SABC is a public broadcaster in South Africa. SABC is the public broadcaster of South Africa. Being the public broadcaster, being the public broadcaster, it has the responsibility. Sorry, a little bit. SABC is a public broadcaster of South Africa. Being a public broadcaster to South Africans, they have to be allow anybody who has something to say. They should be allowing all political organizations to be able to speak an interview with SABC, which the interview could not be publicized. He said he had an interview on the 2 days ago with ENCN, which they decided that the interview ENCA, yeah, it's ENCA, which as well they decided that they will not publish it because President Zuma must never be heard by South Africans. South Africans must never know what President Zuma is saying to the public. The black people have remained calm. The war, Ramaphosa have already declared war against South Africans. The IEC have already started stealing election. I was watching another video where they were talking about ballot papers being found in Pumalanga, delivered yesterday. The ballot papers are supposed to be delivered in the day of the election. They are not supposed to spend a lot of time at the place of the election, at the place where people are supposed to vote. The ballot papers must be delivered in the day when the people are supposed to vote. So, but the ballot papers have been delivered in Pumalanga, meaning the IEC have already started robbing the elections. On behalf of Ramaphosa and on behalf of white people, I've always maintained that South African cannot expect that white people can give the land back through the ballot, because the ballot is just an X. White people will not allow just voting to take trillions out of their economy because black people have decided to vote in one way or another. I mean, it wouldn't be reasonable if you have such amount of money, totally unreasonable. White people will fight against black people. Is inevitable, if I have to say it will happen because uh, the circumstance, the white people have already started the war. The black people have never responded. When the white people bans President Zuma from standing for election, they were starting a war. When the IEC goes to court to ask the courts to stop President Zuma from contesting, does the IEC has the ability to declare a man they want out a winner of the election? Can they declare him the winner of the elections if he wins? Uh, if we have to be honest, uh, does the IEC have the moral authority to run this election in a free and fair way? If we have to be, sorry, if we have to be fair with ourselves and understand how the IEC is acting, can the IEC declare President Zuma as the winner of the election if President Zuma win the election? It's impossible. The IEC will never declare President Zuma to be the winner of the election because they don't want him to contest the election. How can they uh, allow? How can they allow him to win the election if they don't allow him to contest the election? So the IEC will never run free and fair elections in South Africa. The IEC is going to rob the elections on behalf of the ANC and on behalf of the white people. The IEC will create havoc because it's totally immoral. The laws that they've come up with to say they can just kidnap people, break their rights, and take them to prison for no apparent reason. Those laws have to be fought against by black people. Those laws are not supposed to be supreme in our lives. Those laws are supposed to be removed. The Roman Dutch law has failed to to rule. The Roman Dutch law have shown that it's meant for the Romans and the Dutch. It's not for black people. So black people must fight against the Roman Dutch law. When President Zuma says he was banned, his interview was banned by the SABC, and his interview with ENCN has been banned as well. He said he was just highlighting that things like this are happening and that things like this should not be allowed to happen in South Africa. He says it should not be allowed. It's happening. He says black people are in danger. Uh, him in more danger than most of the people. But this issue should not be allowed. It means black people, if they want to be liberated against these people, must be ready for an all out war, which is coming if we really need to be free from slavery and from colonial exploitation by white people, from apartheid governing systems, which is currently running our country, from the mafias and the criminals which are currently in charge because of our schools, they are in charge of everybody, they are in charge of our politics, where black people have to liberate ourselves from these people. We have to go and vote on the 29th, vote for the MK party, though it's obvious that these elections will not be given to the right people. If President Zuma wins the election, first he's banned from becoming president, according to the people. So black people will have to fight the state in order to put President Zuma back in power. In one way or another, black people will have to fight against the constitution if they vote President Zuma into the union building. The constitution has already declared him unsuitable to stand on the side of black people uh, because he's dangerous for them. For the white people, President Zuma is very dangerous. He's not an ordinary person. He can deliver uh, uh, black people from their suffering. So they ban him so that uh, they keep their power on black people. So black people must be aware of what is going to happen without any fear. Some people will be killed, some people will be arrested by the state. Uh, More people will be killed and more people will be arrested by the state. Even making videos like this will lead to arrest uh, after the 29th. These videos may become dangerous even for us who are producing them. There will be a clampdown on black people. Black people will have to fight a war. Black people will have to stand together. Uh, we will not be We will not be given this on a silver platter. Black people must be aware that this will not come in a silver platter. This is going to be a war. Uh, Even if black people wins the election and decide to expropriate land without compensation, the constitution still protects white people. The parliament, I mean, anybody has got the right to take parliament to court, meaning you can take the majority to court and win against them, because parliament, they say it's majority rule. So when they rule, when the majority says this is the direction we want to take, you can go to court and win against the majority. So the white people are still going to court, will still go to court and win against the majority. So the black people who are in majority will have to remove the law to put their own law. Removing that law, it won't be easy. The white people will use the police force, South African police force. They will use the South African army. I don't know if these entities are robots or these entities are real people, because if they are South African, they should be able to see what is happening. We all know that President Ramaphosa has been bought by white people. Billions have been paid to buy conferences, to buy people, to buy judges in different places, to ensure that President Ramaphosa does not lose cases in court, to ensure that people who knows anything about President Ramaphosa are quiet, to ensure that uh, uh, I mean, people like Didi Mabuza, who turned against black people in the last minute at the conference where he turned the election in favor of Ramaphosa. If it was not for Didi selling out, Ramaphosa would not have been able to win the election in that conference. Uh, how much did they give Didi Mabuza in order to sell out in that election, in those elections? So I'm coming out to talk to black people that we should understand that the coming elections into to 3 days now, which is the 29th, it's going to be in 3 days. It's going to be in Wednesday. The 29th is on Wednesday, the 29th of May 2024. Black people should go there on their majority and unite behind the Mkhonto Wesizwe party. Let Ramaphosa and his people rob election. Let's expose them for what they are. Let's expose the IEC for the mafias they are. Let's expose the constitutional court for the mafias they are. The constitutional court has uh, decided to create havoc instead of law and order. Instead of giving law and order, they decided to create havoc. Uh, so let's go and expose them. Let's go and vote for the MK party uh, on the 29th, and let's stand and watch them when they rob election. Let's make sure we expose them and we see them when they rob elections. Elections will not help black people to expropriate land without compensation. White people will not allow that. War can help black people to expropriate land without compensation. If black people are ready for war, then white people will give the land. But if black people are not ready for war, the white people will keep on pushing us. Ramaphosa is ready for war. When he went to KwaZulu Natal, the time when he went to Moses Mabhida, aphakamisa umkhonto, he was literally saying, I am ready for war. There's nothing that he does not understand about the Zulu tradition. He was basically saying that he is starting a war against people, against black people. Uh, he was saying that he's declaring a war uh, which uh, he will side with the white people instead of the black people who put him to power. Black people put Ramaphosa to power, but Ramaphosa is representing white people. And Ramaphosa will kill a lot of black people uh, uh, after these elections. After these elections, a lot of issues will happen. They will be clamped down on people. They will be clamped down on freedom of speech. Those who will want to talk, they will be, because these people will rob election. People will not be allowed to talk about those issues. Will not be allowed uh, to ventilate or to say the elections have been robbed. Will not be allowed to talk about uh, the laws that the Constitutional Court has put in place against black people. So, if black people are not ready for war, they must forget about the land. Expropriation of land without compensation will not never happen. Uh, and the freedom, the economic freedom of a black man will never be achieved in the next 100 years if we miss this opportunity, because the white people will make sure that they regard and make sure that they continue to cause havoc among black people and create a fake majority of white people uh, in the parliament. They will be able to create a fake majority of white people in the parliament, like they've already created now. White people are in majority in parliament as well. White people, when they at the court, white people are in majority in the South African courts at all given times. They make sure the people they employ there are their stooges, are the people who agree only with white people. That's why it's only 10 people who are not even voted by anybody. They are employed by white people to. So I was coming out to talk about the fact that the IEC cannot be able to deliver free and fair elections to black people. The IEC will not be able to declare President Zuma as the winner of the elections, even if the President Zuma, uh, obviously, because the MK party will win the elections. That's why they go crazy like this. Their intelligence have already told them that the ground is gone. That's why they make sure that they want to rob the election, because they know the numbers are not there anymore. So it's clear that President Zuma is going to win the coming elections. The only issue is the IEC cannot be trusted to run these elections and can never be trusted to be while they're actually um trying to take him out of contest. Uh, it's impossible for the IEC to stand with President Zuma uh, whenever he contests some other issues that the IEC is not doing well there at the IEC. Today, a truck has been found in Pumalanga with ballot papers, full of ballot papers, which were taken to, is it Hamasdal? It was Hamasdal. I think it's Hamasdal. That's where the ballot papers were found today. Lots of them, which are supposed to be delivered in Wednesday, they are there already, meaning people are already voting behind the doors. People are already voting. When we go and vote, they will just take those votes and throw them away and replace them with the ones that they've already voted for. Eh, so black people must be ready. Black people must be ready. If they want to win this war, black people must be ready for the war, because this is a war. It can never be anything else uh, other than a war. White people are very much aware um, of what is going to happen. They know they've built a police force. The police force was built by white people to protect white people in South Africa. The army was built by white people to protect white people in South Africa. That's why the police force, they make sure when there's a strike in the townships, they make sure they protect the malls, because they protect the interest of white people. That's what they want. They exist for. They will never go and protect people who live in the township against the hooligans. Police make sure they go to protect the malls every time there is a conflict in a particular place where the malls are. They have to go and rush and protect the white interest. Uh, Malls are protected by the police more and the armies. The armies were created in South Africa for the sake of protecting the white interest. So maybe the teachings are like that in the army and are like that in the police, because the way it is, it's like the police are just agreeing to anything that the state is saying. Like they are robots. They are not people who can listen and understand the situation, because they are members of the community. They should be able to understand. But it's actually amazing that the same people who are supposed to protect black people are the same people who will be killing black people for the sake of white people. The armies, uh, which are black, and and the police force, which is almost 90% black, is the same force which will be used against black people to uh, suppress the freedom of speech, to suppress the rise against the Roman Dutch law is going to be suppressed. The rise against the Roman Dutch law, because it will happen what they did to President Zuma cannot be maintained. If it's maintained, then we are all doomed. We will be suffering for years to come now. We are officially in an apartheid government. If that is allowed to continue in South Africa, then we are officially in an apartheid state, which is even more cruel than the apartheid government, because even the apartheid government did not take President Zuma to jail without trial. They found him guilty. They put him through the trial. They put him through the criminal trial, or the court, the criminal court trial, and found him guilty of a particular crime. In this case, uh, this type of apartheid does not even want to take anybody to court. Uh, they just take you straight to prison, which has never happened to anybody during the apartheid time, or even since the beginning of the Roman Dutch law. This has never happened to anyone since the beginning of the Roman Dutch law. If this law is allowed to continue, click the like button if you haven't clicked the like button, and subscribe. Uh, you are allowed to click the like button and subscribe. If the law is allowed to continue the way the Constitutional Court have decided to draft it, that they can take anybody's rights uh, for anything as long as they please, even outside the law, uh, that is terrible. If we allow that, as black people who are doomed, who are in apartheid. Cynthia Malupi, as black people, we are ready for the war, my brother. Hey, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that from a woman, because a lot of black people don't understand that this is a war. It's not a game. Hey, Zem, Zem, and good afternoon, my patriot there. He says my patriot. Good afternoon. He's one of our big supporters there, Zem. Thank you. Good afternoon, Zem. We're talking about the fact that, and it's actually in Pumalanga, uh, where we're saying that the ballot papers have already been delivered. And it's not only in Pumalanga where the ballot papers have already been delivered. If they deliver them in Pumalanga, why would they stop from delivering them in any place in South Africa, where they want to rob the election? They wouldn't. They would deliver them in any place they want to deliver. So I think it's something which is happening in a large scale, the robbing of elections. Uh, Black people have to be ready for a war. If the South African police and the South African soldiers will not protect white white people from America will send soldiers here. They will send the European Union, they will send the American soldiers here to come and protect the land of that the white people have stolen here. They will definitely do that. They are not foolish. Uh, and they are the most cruel people who exist on the planet. Others, they only care about themselves. They have proven life. They don't care about people. They don't care about anything progressive. These people have proven to us that they can kill. They can kill if they want, and nothing will happen. Nothing happened in Marikana. They killed 40, was it 48 people there? Nothing happened there. They killed people in KwaZulu Natal, 368 black people were killed there. Nothing happened. They have the power to kill black people in masses. They have shown that they have no regards for life, and anytime they can kill as they want, and nothing will happen to them. Now they have shown that they can take black people to jail. They can just punish black people by what the example they have done to with President Zuma is to show that if they want, they can punish black people for no reason. The banning of the interview of President Zuma on SABC, uh, they're showing that they have no regards, and they are ready for war. They don't care about it. Anything. Click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. We're talking about the fact that black people should never be under the illusion that just voting will liberate black people. Just voting will not liberate black people. It's a war. Black people will not be liberated by the vote. The vote will be robbed openly, and other people will be declared winners openly, uh, without giving consideration to any other thing, without caring about whether the elections were robbed or what. Uh, Other people will be declared winners, not MK. MK will never be declared a winner of these elections. They will never be declared. If they would declare MK as a winner of this election, why would they fight President Zuma from standing? Why would they go all the way? They go to courts and they fight to ensure that President Zuma does not stand for this election. Why would they do that? So it shows that these people will not be able to declare President Zuma as the winner of the election. They will make sure they rob them. It's going to be robbed. So black people must be ready of what comes after the 29th, because it's a war. What comes after the 29th? Black people have remained calm up to so far because they are looking forward to the 29th. Focus. The 29th is the day. The 29th, they are looking on the election day. The IEC and the courts thought the war would have already started. They would have already started splitting blood in South Africa at this time. But amazingly, they are shocked to see black people remaining calm and don't care about whatever ruling they come with, because their focus, it's on the 29th. But the 29th of May is going to be turned upside down by the IEC. The elections will not be will be robbed against the people who have voted. Uh, Black people should be aware. Those who are not ready to be killed by the system must stay at the back. Those who are not ready uh, to be arrested by the system must go at the back. Those who are not ready to be prosecuted by the system must stay at the back. Uh, this is not a game, it's a war. Cynthia Malope says, advocate therefore is in jail without trial. He was transferred from Hosi Mamporo to Sun City. No trial, no bail. He is second after Ngamalala. Can you imagine? I did not even know that. Advocate Tefu arrested without trial. Many black people will follow. Many black people will follow because this is now a law. And that's what we are saying. We are saying many black people are going to be arrested without trial because now they've made it a law to just arrest people when they feel like they want to arrest you for no reason. It's a law now. They can keep you in jail for as long as they want. It's a law. It's what the Constitutional Court have declared it to be. It's a law. That's why they are able to put Advocate Tefu. When they arrested President Zuma, many black people thought it's going to be only President Zuma. That's how black people think. Until somebody else and many more people follow on the same issue. Many people will still be arrested on the same issue. Black people must rise against the law. Black people must be ready to rise against this law. And black people must uh, demolish, destroy, remove the Roman Dutch law, whatever you can say, which will meant that the Roman Dutch law is not in our uh, face, however you can put it. The Roman Dutch law must never be allowed to continue in South Africa. It has declared itself the enemy of the people. It has declared itself as the enemy of the majority of the South Africans. The Roman Dutch law has declared itself. The IEC have started robbing the elections. The police are ready. The soldiers are ready. It's a war. After the elections, they will declare people who are not winners of the elections as the winners of the elections. After that, they will be arrested. Any black person who tries to talk against that will be arrested, be put to jail if they want, no trial. If they want, they can just declare you guilty of a crime because, like President Zuma, they've just declared him guilty. He was not found guilty. They declare him guilty. So they can just declare anybody guilty as they feel, as they like. And that is supposed to be the law that black people have to subject themselves to. It comes a time in life where you have to face uh, your enemies to liberate yourself, or it comes a time in life when you have to do that. I think it's time for black people to do that. It's time for black people to resist this law until it falls or we die. I think it's time for that. I think it's time for black people to stand for themselves. It's time. Samora Machel have said it, that it comes a time where you have to either face the enemy or allow yourself to die. Because some other, the enemies the way they subject people to pain, black people to poverty, black people to criminality, black people to killings, black people to hunger, black people to landlessness. Black people must fight. Black people must be ready to fight a war for their resources. Their resources are worth trillions. The resources of the land is worth trillions. We're not involved in the mining of these resources. We're not involved in any way, shape, or size, in whatever way. We're not involved in these trillions that people are getting from our land. People have become billionaires out of our resources. That's why they fight a war. Why wouldn't they fight? They have the money, they have the trillions. Uh, you don't have the money, you don't have the trillions. You want to take their resources, which they have been producing from uh, for the past almost 500 years, stealing. Black people were independent people before the white people came here. Each family unit was self sustained. That's how black people were living their life before white South Africa came here. Nobody talks about that because nobody wants that kind of life to be restored. They don't want black people to form self sustained families. When we talk about self sustained, we mean you don't depend on the state or anybody for your food, for your schooling, for your water, for your electricity, or for anything. You don't depend on white people. Those are self sustained family units. That's how black people were living before white people arrived here. Now, black people are dependent on their food, on their medication, on their education, on their even on their spirituality. Black people are now dependent on white people. Black people must be freed on the 29th of May 2024. Cynthia says advocate uh, uh, Tefu has been arrested without a trial following on the foot of President Zuma. He was transferred to Hoshimamporo. I mean, Hoshimamporo, it's a maximum prison. It's a maximum prison. It's where they put dangerous criminals. Hi, Roshni. This is a new season where the giants will be rendered powerless and fall. David had one small stone, and with the power of God, he slew the giant. and she puts prayer hands there. Thank you very much. We hope that the giant will fall. This is a serious war. Uh, it's a reminiscence of the same situation where the children of Israel wanted to be freed from the Pharaoh, and they went to negotiate with the Pharaoh about their freedom. And the Pharaoh allowed them to go, but at a later stage, 2 hours later, when the Pharaoh realized that we are actually faced with uh, uh, living without slaves. When you are used to calling for the tea seated there, 2 hours is too much for them. Within releasing the children of Israel. I think that's what happened with the constitutional court um overturning the decision of the electoral court. The Pharaoh wanted to release the children of Israel after they negotiated, and realizing that he has lost the slaves. Um, Mdeni Buthelezi, thank you for joining us there. Thank you for appearing there. MK needs to upgrade their media strategy. Zuma is blocked in all our government platforms, Mr. Mkonte. I'm very much aware. President Zuma, not in only government platforms, even in private platforms, uh, you will hear Julius Malema speaking at Radio 702. You will hear Julius Malema speaking at Cap Radio. You will never hear President Zuma be invited at Ecozi FM to go and speak at Ecozi FM. He will not be invited. He will not be invited by public broadcasters. He will not be invited by private broadcasters, because these things are all controlled by the same people. The SABC was started by white people. What do you think? It belongs to white people. Precious says this is a serious problem. It's a serious problem. Thank you for joining, Precious. Thank you for joining, Mr. Buthelezi and Roshni. The three people are our latest to join. Thank you very much for joining. It's a serious issue. Click the like button, those who have just joined. If there's anyone who did not subscribe, please subscribe as well. Those who have just joined, the issue that we're talking about that black people should not be under any illusion that the IEC has the ability to run free and fair election. The IEC does not have the ability to run free and fair election. The IEC will never be able to declare President Zuma as the winner of the election, because they don't want him to contest the election, because the IEC is controlled by the same people who control the media, the same person who control the mainstream media, the same people who control the public media, what we consume in these public platforms. So President Zuma is banned by the SABC. He says he had an interview with the SABC 3 days ago, which they have refused to play it on their platform. He has had another interview with ENCA, who came to Nkandla to have an interview with President Zuma, and did not play the interview on their platform, because President Zuma is banned everywhere, even on YouTube. If you go and search here, even on Google, anywhere where white people are in control, President Zuma is banned. What they are showing about Zuma is not what is actually true about President Zuma. Even if you watch international media, even if you watch your CNN, is it CNN? Even if you watch the British broadcaster there, or the Sky, your Sky News or whatever news channel that you're going to watch, even if you go and watch Indian news channels, you're going to find the consistency which is against uh, President Zuma across, even on Al Jazeera, across all platforms. When they talk about President Zuma, they talk about corruption. Nothing else they say about him. Uh, they are afraid of him. They know he's a man of the people, the man of the ground. They are afraid of him very much. But when they broadcast in these platforms, they pretend like he does not exist and he does not have any impact in South African politics. That's how they want the public to view President Zuma. Black people are facing a war. It is inevitable. White people have already declared it. When they sent President Zuma and when they refused to recuse themselves, the judges refusing to recuse themselves, and the judges asking President Zuma to appeal his judgment to the same judge who gave the judgment, the one who gave me a 20-year sentence. I must go and again talk to him. Isn't it enough to talk to him in the appeal Now, how are they going to treat it? Are they going to recruit themselves? Have they found other slaves to pay to go and stand with them on their side to again find President Zuma guilty when he, or they will just go arrogantly and never recuse themselves again? Click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. My name is Mngoni Mkonto, and you are in the Royal Opinion. We're discussing the fact that President Zuma has been banned by the SABC, and the fact that President um Zuma has also been banned by all media channels, including ENCA, including even YouTube. It's difficult to find any information about President Zuma in these platforms. Uh, Click the like button. You know, when you click the like button, you help the work to circulate to more, because even YouTube is restricting this type of content. They restrict to as little people as possible. So if you click the like button, you confuse the algorithm. Yeah. So black people must never be under the illusion that they will be able to win their land without or avoiding war. Winning, it would be very easy, winning the land in the ballot paper. That one, I don't think it will work. The IEC have already shown their intention to rob the elections against MK. If MK wins the election, the IEC will declare a different winner. I don't see IEC declaring MK as the winner of the election. I don't see IEC who are refusing President Zuma to stand for elections, declaring him the winner. I don't see that happening. I want to say to black people uh, that uh, they must be ready. Those who are not ready must take a back seat now. Those who are not ready must realize what time is it now. Yeah, those who think it's going to be easy, they must start opening their eyes now. It's not going to be easy. White people are ready for black people. White people have the resources for the war. And white people are not afraid to kill black people. They have demonstrated many times that they have no fear to kill black people. And there is no consequences that follows when you kill black people. Black people were killed in Marikana, no problem, nothing happened. Nobody was brought to court. If it was white people, it would never have happened that somebody killed 40 white people without being taken to trial. It would never have happened if it was white people. 370 or so people were killed by the state during the July 2021 riots. Uh, Nobody was taken to court for killing black people. Uh, there's no consequences for killing black people, and white people have shown uh, that they have no fear to do it, and they are ready to do it. So they will do it. They will push black people to defend themselves against the wall. When the black people are against the wall and kill some few, killing some few, then uh, hope that nobody will talk about President Zuma anymore. Uh, get into a killing spree, arresting spree to keep people quiet. Nobody must talk about what the judges are doing or what Ramaphosa is doing, which is bad. You have to fall in line or you will be disciplined by the law. Because the law has the power to discipline anybody who gets out. They have made themselves superior. So black people will have to fight. They don't have a choice. They will have to fight. But if they don't fight, then well, in the next 100 to 200 years, their children will be suffering. Their children will be suffering. If we don't fight this thing now, our children are going to be suffering under this law. Julius Malema have already declared himself that he is going to be the servant of the constitution when he is elected. The constitution which serve black people, which is meant for white people. So black people will have to fight a war. Uh, I only wanted to make black people aware uh, that we are not facing a little thing. That voting is good, but it will not liberate us if that's what you think it's going to help us. Voting is the start of the havoc which is coming in South Africa. So let's start our chaos by going to vote on the 29th and voting for the MK party. In our majority as black people, the chaos would have started because the IEC will start robbing the elections openly. While everybody is aware of other things, they will ignore them and declare winners after they rob the elections. It's gonna happen like that, black people. Thank you so much for those who have joined us, and thank you so much for those who have commented on this live session. Thank you so much to all the black people who will be voting for the MK party. I also appeal to all other black people, even if you don't understand, just go and vote for the MK party. Even if you don't understand what it means, just go and vote for the MK party. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's time I'll end the live stream.